It seems like every time I turn around, this eNote industry is constantly expanding. And today I'm going to show you the Penstar eNote and talk about this tablet and why it might be something you want to consider as your next e-ink device or your first e-ink device if you're exploring. As I started to unbox this device, there's a couple things that kind of really stood out to me that I wanted to kind of just touch on. And the first thing was, I love how they made this like flat bezel edge around here. When I'm holding this device, it kind of just has a real professional feel and it just seems very sleek. I also noticed that when I put it on the desktop, it, even with a lot of pressure, it doesn't move or slide very easily. And then when you open up the device up, this case, this cover here, kind of pops on and off. It's kind of cheap, it feels, but it's very lightweight, and you can see how it kind of mounts right to the device through those little tabs. I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of the cover, but I understand its purpose. When I fold it around, it definitely hides away very nicely. Whenever I think of these e-ink devices, I think about the settings that I'm going to be in, and a lot of times they're professional settings, they're meeting settings, and I just kind of want to come off as a professional, and this little loop doesn't feel very professional. But once I remove the pen and look at the device itself, it is very clean. It looks great on the desktop. Now let's talk about the pen that comes with it. Now this is a classic stylus. The tip has a little bit of a felt feel to it, which gives it a more of a writing experience. And we're going to show you how the writing works with it. It does have Penstar right across here. There is a secondary button, which you can program, and I'll show you that. And then there is an eraser tool. The one thing that absolutely shocked and surprised me, and it wasn't until after I used it for a period of time that I recognized this. And it's something that, as I've used e-ink devices, as a matter of fact, I was in Starbucks the other day and all of a sudden my pen tip on my device fell off. It broke. And I was like, well, I'm done writing until I get home. Well, inside this stylus, they went ahead and they've added a space where there's extra nibs. Now, you probably can't see it real easily, but you'll notice that there's actually 4 nibs there, and 2 of them have like a harder coating to them, and 2 of them have a softer coating to them. I haven't had a chance to try both of them. I imagine the softer coating has more of like a pencil-like feel versus the harder tip has more of a roller ball style feel in writing. Overall, the pen tip and pen itself, it does the job, it writes. I just wish the pen was maybe made out of some metal, a little bit thicker, had a little bit more of a jazz to it. But overall with this device, I think what they did is they wanted to give you the best quality but keep the overall cost down, and I think they achieved that. So probably the first thing you're going to notice when you turn it on is when you turn it on, naturally speaking, you want to go ahead and use your finger to navigate. And in this device, this Penstar eNote, they don't have a touch screen. They've taken that away. Everything that has to be navigated through has to be done in one of 2 ways. You either have to use the pen tip to get to where you need to go, or they've added these buttons. So after getting to use the device a little bit, the not having the touchscreen thing didn't really bother me. I do find from time to time, I do still want to like navigate and touch something with my finger, but I've only had the device a few weeks now, so it probably is just the fact that I use other touchscreen devices, and I wanted to do so with this one here. One area that did kind of throw me off is when I went into my web browser and I went ahead to search for the weather, the keyboard popped up. Now, naturally speaking, I would want to go ahead and type like such, but I have to use the stylus to do one character at a time. Again, I don't think it is a big deal overall. I think as you use this device, you're going to be in the mode of using the stylus with one hand, but if I was actually browsing with it, that would maybe be a challenge for me. Especially if I was maybe looking at emails or trying to type a message back, that might be a challenge. So let's actually talk about the whole idea behind an e-ink device in this Penstar eNote is the ability to write. So I can go ahead and I can come in and open up a note. I can create a note like such. I can add a title. I can go ahead and hit OK. I can set a template. This app is a part of the base apps that come in here. It's just a Cornell note. And you can see across the top, I can go ahead and change different templates that they have. Here you can see that Cornell note. Maybe if I wanted to go to this one here, I could do so, and that's going to update it. Here I have the ability to kind of change my different pen points from pencil to a ballpoint, brush, pen, marker, line thickness. I can even change the color. Now this device is in black and white grayscale, so you just get the gray scaled reflection. So if I write in orange, it's not like I'm going to see orange. I'm going to see a shade that would represent orange. That is nice if you want to add some contrast to your writing. I generally write in black, and you can see how that writing here looks. Now, I can also go ahead and choose to have this stylus do a number of things with this second button. And to program that, I'm going to go back to my home screen. I'm going to go into my settings. I'm going to go into the stylus settings. And a couple things that really stood out to me about that is the calibration feature. There's a lot of e-ink devices like the Remarkable that do not allow you to calibrate your stylus to input. I haven't had the need to, but there's times I may feel that it is. With this device, I can go literally into the calibration, and I can then go ahead and start the calibration, restore to factory. And you can see this is the current value that I'm at, because I've noticed when I first started writing, it didn't seem like my writing was lining up. I calibrated, and ever since then, it's been awesome. The other thing, we talked about that second button, and here I have the choice of choosing either eraser or a marker. Let's go ahead and choose an eraser, and we'll go ahead and go back to our note that we took. And now I can go ahead, click that second button, and I can go ahead and erase. Now, in addition, I'm going to go ahead and write a note again. I have the ability to use this erase tool here and change the settings to either be stroke. I also have the ability to use the lasso tool. The lasso tool is going to allow me to go in here and move those items. And then I can insert documents. The one thing that was actually kind of caught me off guard I wasn't expecting on this particular e-ink device is the ability to record audio. It does have speakers. So if I go ahead and hit record, you're going to see it starts to record. Now, in this demonstration, you're not going to be able to hear exactly how the sound comes back, but I'll go ahead and record, and this allows me to maybe take some notes as I'm recording. And if I go ahead and hit stop, you're going to see that recording's here. Now, I can have the ability to go ahead and rename that, delete it, but if I want to go back and play it back for you, volume is all the way up. You're going to see it starts to record. Now, in this demonstration, you're not going to be able to hear exactly how the sound comes back, but I'll go ahead and record, and this allows me to. So, speaker is a little tingy. I haven't off-ported this note by any means or sent anywhere where I could listen to it on a different device, but for conversational purposes, definitely be able to tell the tone and structure of the people in the room that we're speaking. So I think that's beneficial. In the event that maybe you're more in a leadership role in a meeting, that's one thing I struggle with when I'm in a meeting and I am taking notes and I'm maybe the one that's directing the meeting. I might have all my notes laid out about what I want to talk about and the questions I want to ask and the answers that I want to get. However, from time to time when others start to speak or I'm in the middle of dictating what others are talking about, I kind of lose track of where I'm at. And this would be a great example of a place where I could record what's taking place and then be able to align my notes with that or fill in the gaps in the areas that I missed. So that's one thing that's really neat. We'll go back to the home page here and we'll talk about the ability to use this as something beyond just using the base note apps. There's a lot of different templates out there. Matter of fact, you might have a template your own, and you can go ahead and import PDF files right into this bookshelf. We have a Key to Success planner, which maybe you're familiar about. If you're not, you might want to check it out. But it's a digital planner that you can import into any e-ink device, any PDF annotation app, and we even have it available like on OneNote. But what this allows you to do is you actually now have a real paper-like planner that you can navigate through and move throughout the year, not only just taking your notes and writing on your schedule, but organizing what things are most impactful to your day. Where's your focus? Where's your purpose? And there's a lot of tools in here even to help you with your long-term planning. Like, what is your vision for the year? What does your organization look like? Just tools that are really going to help you grow in your career and field. And we have 4 different editions. One's the personal edition, the professional edition, the business, and the executive. So it doesn't matter if you're in a personal setting where you're trying to grow your daily life, or if you're working in your profession, trying to build up your career, you have a business to run, you lead a department, you're trying to grow out a new product or service, or you're an executive and you have to lead an entire team. This is going to help not only align your goals with your personal life, but also build in your professional life so that you can reach the productivity and entrepreneur spirit and the goals that you have for yourself. And it's something that if you want to check out, the link is in the description. Go ahead, chat with us online. We're happy to answer any questions. But what's unique about when you import a PDF and you go into these PDF annotations, again, I don't have that touchscreen capability, but I can pull up and I can start to write. And here I have the same tools that I had in that other note-taking app. And I can go ahead and choose. I can choose my color, I can choose pen. I don't have all the pen tools that we previously had, but ideally I still have the tools that I need for taking notes and marking up a document. So in this case, I'm gonna work out this afternoon. I'm gonna add that here, and then I'm gonna highlight that. That's one thing that's unique about using e-ink devices is that when you highlight, it really just creates a shade. So as you're working with the e-ink device, you might want to play around with what color spectrum creates the best contrast for you in the lighting that you're in. Now this device does not have a backlit, but the contrast on the screen is really nice. It does give you a pretty good clean feel, and I'm not sure what the DPI is, but it's definitely comparable to a lot of the higher end e-ink devices that are out there. And I have a customized program where I can actually go ahead and zoom in. And as I zoom in on this customized button, you can see that my written text is pretty sharp compared to the text that was part of the PDF. Now, one of the customized buttons I'd recommend using is this refresh button. What that's going to do is going to help flash the screen and give you a really good look or feel. And also with this device, I saw in some of the literature that they sent me that you're able to import apps. And one of the things that really caught my attention was being able to import the Kindle app. I have not figured out yet how to get to the App Store. I browsed in the app section here. Like there is a calculator that comes with it, which is huge. There's a browser, but I wasn't able to actually figure it out. Now I'm sure if I go into the manual and dig into this, there's gotta be a resource available, but I, at this point, have not been able to figure out. If I do figure it out, I'll either do a second video, I'll do an article. One thing that really did intrigue me was the ability to listen to ebooks, as well as to go ahead and use the split screen function. So there is a split screen function that you can use. As we go through the manual, who would have thought a manual is going to give you the answer? Sure enough, right here, to install third-party apps. Well, you go to the app, install app interface, which is under my documents, and hit install APK, which if you're familiar with that is the actual file that you get. And there's a number of resources. I'm sure if you check out Reddit or just Google Kindle APK, you are going to find that file that you need. I don't know how that necessarily works when there's an app update, if this updates automatically, or if you kind of need to mentally keep up with that and go ahead and install the updates. But the fact that you can do it on an e-ink device is pretty awesome because there's not many e-ink devices that have connection to an app store. I showcase the books often, which is also an Android-based device, and that can connect to the App Store, and you can access all those apps, and that makes it very powerful. And the fact that this can do it also makes this a very unique product to consider when you look at e-ink devices. Looking at the writing and overall performance of this particular Penstar eNote compared to like the Remarkable and the Amazon Kindle Scribe, I would say the writing experience is at the same level. I would say there's some advantages to this device over others. For example, the Android feature being able to pull in some different apps and doing web browsing and things of that nature. The Scribe is more of an e-reader device that has e-ink technology, and the Remarkable is more of an e-ink device that tries to do e-reader stuff. But overall, when I look at this device, I think if you're in the professional realm, this is going to fit, not only with the design, with the different tools, as well as the functionality of it. A first look at this Penstar eNote. I've enjoyed using it the last few weeks and learning about it. I'm sure there's plenty more to uncover. Probably going to read that manual. There's probably some things on there that might give me the opportunity to do a second video. So if you learned something from here, please go ahead and like this, subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about not only e-ink devices and technology, but just learn how to be more productive each and every day with our planning system. And if you have questions, please hit the comments. Somebody in my staff or the community will definitely connect with you. With that being said, I'm Brandon Bonifer, creator and founder of the Key to Success Planner, and Lord willing, we'll see you in the next video.